Oswald.
In a pinstripe suit.
And Oswald is the casino boss. The casino boss. And so we just sort of really kind of get through this, like, hold on a second. Bruce Wayne's dad is running this casino, and we see the big lights, Wayne's casino. The Wayne Casino.
Yeah. So basically, we're starting off and we're like, okay, who is good here? Who's better? Like, is our main character here? We're following a good guy.
Is he a good guy? That's such a good question because he does bad stuff, right?
That's like I think in the normal Batman world, that's like one of the great moral questions that he has to ask himself all the time is like, am I a good guy here? Like, am I doing the morally right thing?
Yeah, that's
most of the time he does a good job, you know?
Most of the time.
We like to think. But this guy, he's starting off on kind of the wrong foot.
Yeah, he's bad all the way around. He's well, you could be a good guy casino operator, sure. But he's pushy with this. He's pushy with this young doctor. Mm-hmm. And then he's pushy with Jim Gordon. And
they're up on the tower where you see classically we would see the Batman signal coming from.
And Jim and Thomas have a conversation in the limo. So we're going to speed through this because we got 3 books to go through.
Larry, we're going to have to pick it up. But I do think the beginning stuff was pretty important to establish.
But the breakdown is Harvey Dent's 2 children have been kidnapped by the vicious, maniacal Joker.
Yeah.
He's escaped.
Joker's the bad guy in this one.
Joker's the bad guy. So Joker is...
why do we even put him in Arkham? You know, he's just going to break out, or he always seems to come out.
And I love this part because Thomas Wayne is just like, don't worry, because they meet with the judge, who is Harvey Dent, and his wife.
I want to go back for a sec, or I don't know if it's back or kind of right where we are, but there's a lot of great Batman lines in this comic, and it's some of my favorite parts are just like lines where I can hear Batman saying it.
We'll find your children.
Yes, exactly. Or like when he gets into the sewer, he's like, "No, I want to do it myself." Like Batman's always trying to do stuff for himself, you know.
Oh, and, yeah.
I'll point out a couple more as I see them, but
yeah. So we're not in the sewers yet, but so that.
Wait, we're not in the sewers yet.
So no, we just met with Harvey Dent and his wife, and
oh man, we gotta pick up the speed.
This is the case. We got 2 children missing. They are the children of the district attorney Harvey Dent, and Thomas Wayne says, "We're gonna get your babies back." I think that's the coolest because he's like, "Well, who are you to like just be like, we're gonna get them back?"
He just says, "I'm gonna do it." He doesn't say how at all.
But in the meantime, there's also missing homeless people who.
Yeah. So there's this quick tangent where it's like all of a sudden Batman has to go to the sewers, and there's like a really long, like no dialogue for several pages where he like sees ominous things, and like the bad monster's eyes, you see him like right above the water that's always right at the bottom of the sewer, and you see these homeless people, and the monster rises out of the water, and you see he's like a thing type character. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Right, Larry?
That's
looks like
Killer
a thing,
Croc.
But more of like a monster mouth.
This is my favorite part, Killer Croc, and this is setting the tone.
Wait, is that your favorite Batman character?
That's my favorite Batman villain, Killer Croc. He's awesome.
Croc.
And
he doesn't really look like a crocodile, though.
Well,
like
he doesn't. His face is all mutated. He's got like a skin disease. Can't remember his first name.
Disease on top of being a croc.
Well, that's what makes his. He's drawn differently. Sometimes he's drawn like almost like a monster, like he is here, but sometimes he's a little more human, just with scaly skin.
Oh, interesting.
So they do different things with Killer Croc, but here, this is he's very like monster-looking
a pirate sword.
Yeah, and this gives you the tone because he does something to Killer Croc. This Batman does something to Killer Croc that Batman would never do. That the Batman that we know would never do, and he slices he chops Killer Croc in half. I mean, he puts the sword through his head. He kills him.
Yeah. Well, and he also gouges out his eyes.
Oh, he's bad. He's bad. This Thomas
that gouging out his eyes thing comes into play later, but that's a dirty move.
Yeah, he's nasty. Oh, but then we so that's setting up who this Batman is, and then we meet the Joker, and we meet who the Joker is, and the Joker is just as maniacal as the Joker that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he has kidnapped his two children.
A little different.
What'd you say?
But this Joker might be a little different.
That's exactly right.
Because remember, people, we're dealing with Flashpoint, so it's not just Batman that's different. Killer Croc, he doesn't even have a crocodile smile. He looks like this other thing, and Joker, well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to the Joker. And so that's the end. So you see that the Joker has these
that's the end of the first part.
That's the end of the first issue.
Parts.
We're doing 3 parts here. And we see that the Joker he's playing with these kids, and like he's maniacal. There's crack-a-boom out there and it's stormy weather. This is just dark, dark stuff. And when we talk about this art, oh my God. So then Batman is hot on this case. He is chasing down all the leads. Now we're zipping into issue number 2 here of Flashpoint.
Yeah, we should mark the transition.
Flashpoint.
What do you think about the cover of the second one?
Oh, gross, right? Like it's just a skull with a Joker face and a big J.
Yeah, like almost like a skull wearing a bandana with teeth painted on it. Kind of like what we see with some of our kidnapped victims, where they have a big smile on their face.
Oh, you drew that connection. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Because I think it's such a creepy, cool move to like muffle somebody and put a smile on their face when they so obviously don't have a real smile underneath it.
And that's exactly what the Joker has done here. We're gonna really really jump through this one because this is pretty straightforward Batman detective stuff. Mm-hmm. He makes his way to the house where Joker is holding these 2 children, but Jim Gordon made it there first, and Jim
he didn't do such a good job.
He didn't do it. He biffs it. Jim
biffed. What a whiff.
Jim takes the shot. He's got Joker in his sights. This is all spoiler. We gave that spoiler alert. Jim has got the Joker in his sights. The Joker has got gun to one of the children's heads.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to sit for Jim. Jim takes the shot only to see, James, I don't want to spoil it. Just you spoil it.
You say it.
Only to see that the Joker has pasted a smile on the girl child's face. It's a boy and a girl, and taped the kid into a chair so so the kid's standing, and taped guns into the child's hands. Mm-hmm. So she's helpless, and the other one's tied up on the ground, and the guns are pointing. I mean, it's just and then
this is the part I thought you were going to get to.
Jim didn't have any choice, and he takes the shot and shoots the girl child, like boom, right through the shoulder. The kid's gonna die. This is but very quickly does the Joker take, like when James sees what he's done.
It's really well scened too, or drawn in a way where you fall for it too.
Oh, right. Yeah, you see that.
It looks like it's the Joker pointing the guns at this kid on the ground because his hair's down in his face. He's wearing a big coat, and you can't see like the hands that are holding the gun. And so when he takes this shot, then after the shot, the hair moves out of her face, and you see that the smile is just a piece of duct tape with a smile on it. and even just like the size of the panels and how it's laid out, it's well done.
Yeah, and this Joker does not waste any time while
and then he just slits his throat.
Yeah, he slits Jim's throat. Like Jim goes down in a horrible, like, big gash of blood. Jim's throat is opened, and
I was surprised by this because he's kind of like a main character type guy. Like, I know who he is. But then it made me think, like, it'd be kind of fun to write, like, a 4-issue Batman series where you just, like, kill just everybody.
Well, we've already seen major characters die. Killer Croc.
Yeah, poor Killer Croc, the most major character.
Well, Jim Gordon is not looking good here. His throat is slashed. He's making his way for the gun, but he's not going to make it. And all of
Did
this
you know they're making a Killer Croc movie?
No, stop playing.
Yeah, they're not.
Anyway, so Batman's seeing all of this on his flip phone, and that's
the character isn't very significant when when his name is Killer Croc. Like, that's not very... I mean, I guess Batman... It's about as creative as Batman, I guess.
And then here is the major spoiler of issue 2. Batman kicks in the door.
Every Croc is a killer.
Batman...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Batman kicks in the door.
And he sees the mess on the ground.
And he yells the words... Or he yells the word... Or the name...
Martha
Wayne.
Martha.
The Joker is Martha Wayne.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that like when I read it first, which I mean I figured it out afterwards, but it like for people who knew that,
you were just like, who the heck's Martha? Oh. It's such a great, like, cliffhanger. So there. So now we have that, and then, James, you still with me?
Mm-hmm.
So then Batman and Batman is working very quickly to save, gives triage to both Jim Gordon and this poor little gal who has been shot through the chest.
Isn't it his daughter?
No, it's
just a girl.
No. This is Harvey Dent's kids.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll get the kids. He pours this like liquid in there and then like gives it a blast or something and like saves the little girl with this like crazy medicine, like quick medicine.
Well, it almost looks like when you put black powder and then you light it on fire to cauterize a wound.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's like some sort of. He had it in his belt next to the ice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get this.
It was really a pixie stick.
That's what it looked like. He like cracked open a pixie stick. But then we get the backstory. Who died in that crime alley? It wasn't.
It was Bruce instead. So in this Flashpoint, the cover really gives it away in this issue 3, where you see Batman on one side holding hands with Joker on the other side, and then there's like a white chalk outline of a child, and you realize, oh, Batman's the dad, Joker's the mom, Bruce died.
Bruce died in the alley. I love this story. It is so cool. And then Bruce and then Joker.
So like that is why we had to read 3 issues.
Yes.
Because it established both of those characters, and then now we see how they fit together.
Yeah.
And how it fits into Flashpoint. Because really, without this 3rd issue, it's hardly even Flashpoint.
Right. Yeah, you have to read all 3 issues.
No one mentions it or anything.
Yeah. And so like this Joker going crazy with the ball peen hammer on Batman's head. It's just like his arm, her arm is moving like crazy. Just really whacking this poor Batman. And so they have a bit of a punch up. And we also see some back and forth we see a flashback of Thomas Wayne trying to comfort his wife after the death of their son. And she's not having it.
They did a good job of making this black and white when it's the flashback. But it'll be like one page has like 3 panels that are black and white, and then like a color panel laid on top of it that's like an action panel.
That's